Sure. My name is Jeannette Diaz, and I am a dental hygienist by training. I live in Southern California, and I currently work for a state governmental developmental disabilities agency as a health program specialist. And my role has never really existed, so it's been really fun. It's almost 3 years, and I I am the subject matter expert on dental, but I also do other things within my role. So I chose to go to MCPHS mainly because it was a flexible program. It was fully asynchronous, which for me was really important because I was working full time as a clinical dental hygienist. And so that was one of the major reasons why I chose the program. I also liked the coursework that was offered. And so, yeah, I just love the flexibility that MCPHS offered. So my journey through graduate school was really, I would say it was non-traditional. Typically when people go to grad school, they that's what they do. And so for me, working full time and going to school full time, can sound a little challenging, but really the program I felt like it was very friendly for those who are working professionals. And so I came in as a dental hygienist with uh, three AA degrees. And the other reason why I chose MCPHS is because they offered what is called a bridge program. So if you are a hygienist that has an associate's degree, you're able to come in and you take 1 year of coursework to prepare you for the master's program. And so, whether you're someone with an associate or someone with a bachelor's, MCPHS offers the opportunity for us to pursue a master's education. So, for me, again, that was another reason why it was really important that the program provided this type of flexibility. And so I started the program, and at one point I did have to step away, and it was a really difficult decision to make. However, MCPHS offered lots of support, and so I eventually returned. And I took two classes at a time, which is considered full time. But I also had colleagues who, in my cohort, who took one class at a time. And so I feel like my journey may not look like someone else's, but it was very fulfilling. I feel like I have left the program with immense knowledge and also, I think, a little more self-confidence to be able to go out there and immerse myself in things that are not just dental related, but really, health sciences. When you take the Master's in Dental Hygiene graduate coursework, you can pick a major that or a specialty really to go into education or public health. And I chose a public health route. So a lot of the courses that I took aligned really well with working for a state governmental agency. And so one of the requirements for my job was to have they highly recommended a master's degree. And so I do think that having a master's in dental hygiene really made me a more competitive candidate for my position. There's a lot of program planning, lots of work with other agencies, community-based organizations, also working with uh, dental professionals and interprofessional. Um, I get to work with a team of psychologists. We have a clinical team that includes behavioral specialists. We have nurses, psychiatrists. So it's been really fun and exciting to see that as a dental hygienist, I am able to share space with other healthcare professionals to improve care for people with developmental disabilities. So I think the program really just it aligned so well, and it landed me a job pretty quickly within a year. I live in California, and here we have what is called a registered dental hygienist in alternative practice, which is an additional licensure that allows hygienists to be able to deliver care in other types of settings, alternative settings, such as a nursing home, in a person's home, schools. And so where I live, I was very interested in working with our teen parents because I was a teen mom. And initially, that was a population I thought I was going to be working with. And then I ended up working with older adults, people with disabilities. And so I always knew that I had that license, but I hadn't done anything with it. And during the program, we had some classes where we developed a business plan, really kind of laid out that groundwork that you need to start a business. And so that really, I think, propelled me to say, hey, I can do this, and decided to go ahead and apply for my business license and really get started. I also applied and received a grant during my time in graduate school. And I really think, again, the public health courses that I took in the Masters of Dental Hygiene program helped me to be able to do it. And it was a difficult time. I think I started that in 2019, and then the pandemic, hit. And so that delayed my ability to go out into the community. But it also, I think, in some ways, it became a little more acceptable to deliver care in a person's home. We heard a lot more of, like home health, but for dental. So I just think the timing was perfect. It was, it was challenging, of course, to balance my clinical work, my school work, a business. But I think that the program, it helped me to be able to prioritize and manage my time, because I really had no choice but to manage it if I wanted to be successful. So I give credit to MCPHS for that. I would say to hygienists that are kind of on the fence, they want to pursue graduate school, and they're not sure. I would say, I would invite them to look at our program. Um, Again, because it's so flexible, it doesn't matter where you live. It's asynchronous, so I think that it's a really good fit if you are working. Um, I also really love that our cohort was all over the country, so I made connections with other hygienists from different states, which really expanded my understanding of how things are done in other states. It also helped me, collaborate with colleagues across the country. And sometimes I have hygienists that say, well, what should I get my master's in? Should I get it in dental hygiene? Is it worth it? Is it going to make me more money? Hear a lot of things. And I think that it's a very personal choice. But if it's something that has kind of been tugging at you, I would say do it. Even if you take one class at a time, you'll eventually get there. And there really isn't, the perfect time to do it. Or I sometimes hear, well, I'm older now, and I'm not sure if this is going to be a good investment. And I think that there's really never the right time for expanding our education. I think it's always going to be worthwhile and valuable. And so I would say, do it. And even if it's one class at a time, it's possible. When I started the program, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to do with my master's. I knew I wanted to pursue higher education. And I think it's also important, if you don't quite know exactly what you want to do with it, I believe that during your graduate studies, there's a lot of reflection and growing. And you'll find where your path is going to lead you. So I had some colleagues who wanted to go into education, or they thought that this is the only option for hygienists. You get a master's degree and you teach. But I just want to invite others to consider all of the other possibilities, opportunities that are available. with a master's degree. We really belong in all spaces, and I think that the expertise that dental hygienists have is really extremely valuable to our communities, and is also very much needed to develop policy. So I would just encourage you to, you know, check out our program. I think it's worthwhile.